If you need to hire an attorney, you're probably already pretty stressed out. So the last thing you need is the stress of hiring the wrong attorney. So here to steer us toward the right one is our old friend, Gina Ghioldi. Nice to see you.
Great to see you again, Shannon.
An attorney herself, I might add. So where do you begin looking for the right lawyer?
Well, I think the first thing to remember is, as you said, if you need an attorney, then you're probably pretty stressed out, and either something very good is happening in your life, like you're going to be buying a house.
Right, chances are, though, it's...
However, you're right, chances are something's bad. Either you've just gotten served with divorce papers,
right,
you're getting sued, whatever. The thing to remember is if you see something bad coming down the pike, you want to make sure that you start interviewing for an attorney early on. But even if it's a last-minute thing and you suddenly have to find an attorney, you want to make sure that you find the right attorney. And you start out by asking people for referrals, people that you trust, to gear you towards the right attorney.
Well, see, but aren't there, I mean, very individualized specialties that an attorney will focus on? So that might be a little tough, finding a referral for your exact needs.
And you're absolutely right. The big thing is to find the exact attorney for your right needs. And what you can do, though, is start with an attorney that somebody you know trusts. Because even if your Uncle Harry, used an attorney to incorporate his dry cleaning business, the reality is he may not be the person to do your will, but he'll know the right attorney. You can also ask your insurance agent, your financial planner, your CPA, people you trust for a personal referral.
So, okay, if you have a handful, well, first of all, how many should you narrow it down to if it's really wide open?
Well, it depends, of course, on how much time you have to find the attorney.
Let's say you have time.
I would try 3 attorneys.
All right, so you have your 3 attorneys, and do you actually schedule an appointment this is what I'm doing, I'm interviewing you to see if we're the right fit?
Absolutely. You can do it over the telephone initially to make sure they do handle the area of law that you need help with. Yes, go in, meet with an attorney. Most attorneys don't charge for that initial consultation, or it'll be a very nominal amount. Be very open. Say you want to see if this person, this particular attorney, is a good fit for you.
What sort of things do you ask?
Well, first of all, you want to make sure that the majority of their time is spent doing the issue that you need help with, particularly if you have a specialized issue. Also, ask them for referrals. Go ahead. Ask if they have other clients that would be willing to talk to you, give you a personal reference. Ask them about their rates. Find out if they can tell you an estimate as to how much your entire case will cost from beginning to end. Something very important to remember, some attorneys will quote you just a price to get things started. Other attorneys will project out, if they can, from the beginning of your matter through the end. So when you're comparing how much money you have to pay as a retainer, money down towards your case, make sure you're comparing apples to apples.
Well, one thing, I mean, let's be honest here. Attorneys, like all of us, are in this for money. This is their job. This is their life. It is a business.
Right.
So, I don't know, how much should you keep that in mind as you're interviewing them? Obviously, they want your business.
Well, most attorneys will be very frank with you about the strategy they will take with your particular matter. If you're going in, you have a simple will that needs to be done, that's one thing. If you're going in and you're facing a divorce, or you're going to be buying or selling a business, ask them to explain to you how they envision the case playing out. Ask them how they'll handle it in a cost-effective manner. Ask your attorney that you're interviewing how you can save money, and there is no way that you can save fees by helping out as an answer, because you can always keep the cost down.
All right, so let's see, you've come to an agreement. You both have found some common ground. You've agreed on an attorney. Once you have that attorney, how do you keep that line of communication open throughout?
Well, I think one of the important things is when you're choosing your attorney, you have to make sure that you follow your gut instinct. And if you feel good and you feel comfortable during that interview process, then chances are you're well on your way to a good line of communication. If you're not comfortable with the attorney when you're interviewing them, no matter what their credentials are, don't hire them. This is a very important thing you're doing.
And a very personal decision.
And a very personal thing. And when you want to keep the lines of communication open with your attorney, communicate with them. Tell them what works for you. If you prefer to understand things if they're written down, you write to meet with them face to face. Whatever you prefer, make it clear. If something isn't working for you, you don't understand it, tell them. Ask them to explain it in plain English. And probably one of the most important things, remember, your attorney is human, and they also have other clients. So unless you really have a crisis, don't call, don't be the one crying wolf, because you'll break down the communication faster than you created it.
One final thing, has anyone ever come to you to interview you, to hire you, and it hasn't worked, and you've both sort of agreed this isn't the right fit?
There have been times, and every attorney will have this experience, where it's not a good fit, either because it's not your level of expertise, or the personalities don't click. Personality is a huge piece of it. You have to be comfortable with your attorney, and you have to be really calm and clear when you're
Because there's a lot
talking
at
to them.
stake here.
Absolutely. It's your
financially
life.
and otherwise.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
It's your life.
Gina, it's always a pleasure.
You
Thanks
too.
for the good advice. We certainly
Thanks.
appreciate it. You can watch this interview again, and while you're there, see all the day's news and streaming video on our website, NECN.com, or the NECN pages of Boston.com. That's the online home of the Boston Globe.